Have you ever glanced at the clock and seen 11:11? Again, for the third time this week, and you think, that's weird. Or maybe you're thinking about someone you haven't spoken to in years and suddenly, ping, they text you, out of nowhere. Or perhaps you keep seeing the same symbol, the same animal, the same phrase showing up in conversations on billboards in your dreams. And part of you wonders, is this trying to tell me something? But then the rational mind kicks in. It's just coincidence. Random chance. Confirmation bias. Let me tell you something. You've been lied to about what coincidence actually is. Because what you're experiencing, it's not random. It's not your brain playing tricks on you. It's not coincidence. It's synchronicity. And synchronicity is the universe speaking to you in a language you've forgotten how to read. I'm not talking about woo-woo wishful thinking here. I'm talking about a fundamental operating system of reality itself. One that Carl Jung spent decades researching. One that quantum physicists are now confirming. One that could completely transform how you understand your life. Here's what almost nobody realizes. You are living inside a quantum field right now. A field that is alive, responsive, intelligent. A field that doesn't just witness your thoughts and emotions, it responds to them. Precisely, constantly. Every synchronicity you've ever experienced? That wasn't the universe being cute. That was feedback. Direct, immediate feedback about the frequency you're broadcasting into the field. The number sequences, the chance encounters, the dreams that came true, the songs that played exactly when you needed to hear them. These aren't accidents. They're data points in a larger conversation that's been happening your entire life. And most people? They're walking around completely deaf to it. They see the signs, shrug, and keep scrolling. They experience the most profound communication system in existence and dismiss it as just one of those things. But here's what changes everything. Once you understand how to decode this language, once you learn to read the signals your reality is constantly sending you, you stop being a passive observer of your life. You become a conscious co-creator. Not because I'm selling you some feel-good philosophy, but because the science, the actual measurable peer-reviewed science, is showing us something stunning. Your consciousness isn't trapped inside your skull. It's not contained. It's a field, a non-local electromagnetic field that extends beyond your body and interacts directly with what we call reality. And synchronicity? That's the feedback loop. That's the universe showing you in real time what frequency you're broadcasting and what you're calling into your experience. So here's my question for you. What if you've been ignoring the most important guidance system you've ever had? What if the answers you've been searching for have been showing up all along? You just didn't know how to interpret them. I'm going to show you exactly how this works. And by the end of this, you're going to see your entire reality differently. Let's go deeper. Most people, when they start noticing synchronicity, make the same mistake. They think it's about manifestation. They think, oh, I'm seeing these signs because I'm finally aligned with my desires. And then they get frustrated because they see 222 everywhere. They feel excited about a new opportunity. They think the universe is saying yes. And then nothing happens. The job doesn't come through. The relationship falls apart. The opportunity vanishes. And they conclude, synchronicity doesn't work. It's just my imagination. But here's what no one tells you. Synchronicity isn't a fortune cookie. It's not the universe giving you a thumbs up. It's not a cosmic-like button validating your dreams. It's a mirror. And mirrors don't lie. They show you exactly what you're projecting, not what you wish you were projecting. Let me explain what Carl Jung actually discovered. Because this changes everything. Jung didn't study synchronicity as some mystical party trick. He studied it as a psychologist trying to understand how the unconscious mind communicates. And what he found was radical. He noticed that his patients would experience meaningful coincidences during moments of psychological transformation. Right when they were on the verge of a breakthrough, when some unconscious pattern was ready to become conscious, external reality would reflect that shift back to them. a woman dreams of a golden scarab beetle. The next day, during her therapy session, an actual scarab beetle, extremely rare in Switzerland, hits the window. Jung catches it and shows her. That moment, it shattered her rational defenses. It opened her to a deeper truth she'd been avoiding. The synchronicity wasn't random. It was precise. It appeared at the exact moment her consciousness was ready to shift, and it delivered the exact symbol her psyche needed to make that shift complete. Jung called these meaningful coincidences. But here's the key word: meaningful. Not random, not lucky, meaningful. The meaning was specific to her internal state. The timing was specific to her transformation. The symbol was specific to her unconscious material. This is where most people get synchronicity wrong. They think it's about getting what they want, but it's actually about revealing what's happening inside you. Your external reality is constantly reflecting your internal frequency back to you. When you see 1111 and feel a spark of hope, that's not the universe promising you something. That's your nervous system recognizing coherence. Your consciousness is momentarily aligned with a higher frequency, and the field is confirming it. When you think of someone and they text you, that's not magic. That's your electromagnetic field overlapping with theirs in a moment of resonance. Jacobo Grinberg's research on neuronal fields proved this. Two people in deep rapport literally create a shared field. Their brainwaves synchronize, their consciousness merges, and when that field becomes coherent enough, events align, messages arrive, reality bends, and this is the part that makes people uncomfortable. Synchronicity also reflects your resistance, your fear, your misalignment. You keep seeing the same toxic pattern in relationships? That's not bad luck. That's a synchronistic mirror showing you an unhealed frequency you're still broadcasting. You keep missing opportunities by just a few minutes? That's not the universe being cruel. That's feedback. You're out of phase. Your timing is off because your internal coherence is off. The field is always communicating. But most people only want to hear the messages that feel good. Real synchronicity work? It's not about chasing angel numbers and waiting for signs to validate your dreams. It's about becoming honest with what the mirror is actually showing you. And here's the hope in all this. Once you stop arguing with the reflection, once you stop demanding that reality confirm your illusions, something profound happens. You start receiving guidance, real guidance, not what you want to hear, what you need to hear. The synchronicities become clearer, more frequent, more specific, because you're no longer blocking the signal with noise. You've been waiting for the universe to speak to you in a language you understand. But the truth is, it's been speaking all along. You just needed to learn the grammar. So let me ask you this. What synchronicities have you been dismissing because they didn't fit your preferred narrative? What patterns keep showing up that you've been calling bad luck? Because those aren't punishments, those are invitations. Invitations to shift your frequency, to heal what's unhealed, to align with what's actually true, not what you wish were true. And when you do that, when you finally stop resisting the mirror, that's when reality starts to collaborate with you in ways that will leave you breathless, ready to go deeper. Let's talk about what quantum physics just confirmed. Here's where it gets interesting. For a long time, synchronicity was dismissed by mainstream science as pseudoscience. Coincidence, apophenia, the human tendency to see patterns where none exist. And honestly, I get why scientists were skeptical. Jung's theories sounded mystical. They couldn't be measured in a lab. They violated everything we thought we knew about cause and effect. But then quantum physics showed up, and everything changed. Because what physicists discovered at the quantum level completely dismantles our assumptions about how reality works. Let me walk you through this, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. In classical physics, the world is mechanical, solid, separate. Cause precedes effect. Objects exist independently whether you observe them or not. Your consciousness is just a byproduct of brain chemistry, irrelevant to the external world. But quantum mechanics said, not so fast. When scientists studied subatomic particles, they found something bizarre. These particles don't exist in a definite state until they're observed. Before observation, they exist as waves of probability, infinite potential states, all happening simultaneously. It's only when a conscious observer looks that the wave collapses into a single definite particle. This is called the observer effect, and it's not a theory. It's been proven in thousands of experiments. The double-slit experiment alone has been replicated so many times it's no longer debatable. Your observation, your consciousness, literally affects physical reality, not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally. Now here's where it connects to synchronicity. If consciousness collapses the wave function, if your awareness is actively participating in creating what becomes real, then reality isn't a fixed stage you're walking through. It's a responsive field you're constantly interacting with. And if that's true, then meaningful coincidences aren't violations of physics. They're features of physics. Michael Talbot wrote about this in The Holographic Universe. He proposed that the universe operates like a hologram, where every part contains information about the whole, where separation is an illusion, where everything is interconnected in a vast, unified field. In a holographic universe, synchronicity isn't weird, it's inevitable. Because if you and I and that tree and this moment are all part of one interconnected field, then of course your internal state affects external events. Of course your emotional frequency attracts corresponding experiences. Of course the universe reflects your consciousness back to you. It's not magic, it's mechanics. But here's the part that blew my mind when I first learned it. Your consciousness isn't even limited to your brain. For decades, we've been told that thoughts happen in the brain. Consciousness is neurological activity. It's all firing synapses and chemical reactions contained inside your skull. But research by scientists like Jacobo Grinberg challenged that entire model. Grinberg studied what he called the neuronal field, the idea that consciousness isn't produced by the brain, but is accessed through it. The brain acts like a receiver, tuning into a larger field of awareness that exists beyond the physical body. He conducted experiments where he'd place two people in deep meditative rapport. Then he'd stimulate one person's brain with a flash of light, and simultaneously the other person's brain in a completely separate room would show the same neurological response. No physical connection, no communication, just two consciousnesses resonating in a shared field. This is called quantum entanglement in human awareness. Einstein famously called it spooky action at a distance because it violated everything classical physics predicted. But it's real, it's measurable, and it explains so much about synchronicity. When you think of someone and they call you, that's not coincidence. That's two fields overlapping in a moment of coherence. When you walk into a room and immediately sense the vibe, that's not intuition. That's your neuronal field reading the electromagnetic information in the space. When you have a dream that comes true 3 days later, that's not precognition. That's your consciousness accessing information from a non-local field where time isn't linear. You are not separate from the reality you're observing. You're woven into it. Your thoughts create electromagnetic fields. Your emotions broadcast frequencies. Your attention acts like a quantum observation, collapsing probability into experience. This is why affirmations alone don't work. This is why vision boards fail most people. Because they're trying to manipulate reality with their conscious mind, while their subconscious is broadcasting a completely different frequency. The field doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you are. And synchronicity is how the field talks back. When you're in coherence, when your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are aligned, the field responds with synchronistic flow. Doors open, people appear, opportunities arrive at the perfect time. You feel like you're being carried by an invisible current. But when you're in dissonance, when your conscious desires conflict with your subconscious programming, the field reflects that back too. Delays, obstacles, near misses, patterns that repeat no matter how hard you try to change them. The universe isn't punishing you. It's mirroring you. And here's the radical part. This means you're not powerless. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're not at the mercy of fate or luck or randomness. You're a quantum observer in a responsive field, Every moment you're collapsing waves of potential into lived experience. Every thought, every emotion, every belief, you're broadcasting a signal and reality is echoing it back. So when you see that repeating number, when you experience that impossible timing, when the universe delivers exactly what you were thinking about, it's not showing off. It's confirming. Yes, this is how it works. You are that powerful. Pay attention. The question isn't whether synchronicity is real. The question is, are you ready to take responsibility for what you're creating? Because once you understand this, once you really get that you're not separate from the field, that your consciousness is actively shaping your reality, you can't go back to sleep. You can't pretend you're a victim anymore. You can't blame circumstances. You can't wait for someone else to save you. You have to become the frequency you want to experience, and that's where the real transformation begins. Let's talk about why most people never get there. So if all of this is true, if synchronicity is a real feedback system, if consciousness shapes reality, if we're all connected to this responsive quantum field, then why doesn't everyone experience it? Why do some people seem to live in a constant flow of synchronicity while others see nothing but randomness and struggle? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people are broadcasting noise, not signal. Let me explain what I mean. Imagine you're trying to tune a radio to a specific station. If the dial is even slightly off, you get static, interference, fragments of sound mixed with distortion. You might catch a word here, a note there, but the message is garbled. That's what most people's electromagnetic field looks like. It's chaotic, incoherent, broadcasting 10 different frequencies at once. Their conscious mind says, I want abundance. But their subconscious is running a program that says, money is hard. I'm not worthy. People like me don't get lucky breaks. Their heart desires love, but their nervous system is stuck in fight or flight, scanning for threats, building walls, expecting betrayal. They say they want change, but their body is addicted to the familiar emotions of stress, resentment, and victimhood. Those emotions have become their identity. And the field? The field doesn't judge. It doesn't care what you want. It responds to what you are. So if your frequency is chaotic, guess what shows up? Chaos, delays, mixed signals, synchronicities that start strong and then fizzle out. You see 1111 and feel hopeful. 2 days later, nothing's changed and you dismiss it as meaningless. You meet someone who feels significant, but then the connection gets complicated and you chalk it up to bad timing. The universe isn't withholding from you. You're just not holding a clear frequency long enough for the field to lock on and deliver. This is the part no one wants to hear, because it means you have to stop blaming external circumstances and start looking at your internal state. And that's terrifying, because most people have spent years, decades, building an identity around their wounds, their lack, their limitations. I'm unlucky. Things never work out for me. I'm not the kind of person who gets opportunities. These aren't just thoughts, they're frequencies. And every time you repeat them, you're tuning your radio to the station of scarcity, struggle, and separation. The field hears that, and it says, okay, here's more evidence that you're right. More missed opportunities, more disappointments, more proof that life is hard and synchronicity is a fairy tale. But here's the hope in all of this, and I want you to really hear this. You're not broken. You're not doing it wrong. You're not cursed or blocked or unlucky. You're just out of tune. And tuning in? That's a skill, a practice, something you can learn. The mystics knew this. Every spiritual tradition that's ever existed has some version of this teaching. Buddhism calls it mindfulness, Christianity calls it faith, quantum physics calls it coherence, but it's all pointing to the same thing. You have to become the frequency of what you desire, not think about it, not visualize it, not affirmations in the mirror while your nervous system is screaming otherwise. You have to embody it, live it, feel it, become so saturated in that frequency that it's no longer something you're trying to achieve. It's something you are. And when you do that, when your electromagnetic field becomes coherent, when your thoughts and emotions and beliefs align into a single clear signal, the synchronicities don't just increase, They become undeniable. You stop questioning whether that person was meant to show up. They show up in a way that's so specific, so perfectly timed that you can't dismiss it. You stop wondering if you're on the right path. The path opens in front of you with a clarity that feels like the universe is laying out breadcrumbs. You stop doubting your intuition because the external feedback becomes so immediate and precise that you learn to trust the signal. This is what Joe Dispenza talks about when he says, "Your personality creates your personal reality." Your personality, the habitual thoughts, emotions, and behaviors you repeat every day, is your frequency. And your reality is the reflection of that frequency. If you want a different reality, you need a different frequency. And that means becoming a different person, not a fake version, not a manifesting persona you put on while secretly believing you're not enough. A genuinely new operating system, new thoughts, new emotions, new beliefs. A nervous system that feels safe in abundance, love, and possibility. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to eliminate every limiting belief before the field responds. You just have to become coherent enough that the signal is stronger than the noise. That's it. That's the whole game. And the field is so intelligent, so responsive, so eager to collaborate with a clear frequency that the moment you shift, even slightly, it meets you there. That's what synchronicity is showing you. Every repeating number, every meaningful coincidence, every moment of perfect timing. It's the field saying, "I'm here. I'm listening. Keep going." Most people give up too soon. They try for a week, don't see fireworks, and quit. But the ones who make it, the ones who live in synchronistic flow, they didn't get lucky. They got coherent. They stopped waiting for external validation and started cultivating internal alignment. They stopped treating synchronicity like a vending machine and started treating it like a conversation. And the universe responded, because it always does. So here's my question for you. What frequency are you broadcasting right now? And is it the frequency of the reality you say you want? Because if not, if there's a gap between who you are and who you want to be, that gap is where your synchronicities are getting lost. But close that gap, become that frequency, everything changes. Let me show you how. Let's get practical, because you can understand all the theory in the world, but if you don't know how to apply it, it's useless. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how to decode your personal synchronicity and start consciously collaborating with the field. First, you need to understand that synchronicity speaks in symbols, not words, not logic, symbols. And those symbols are unique to you. When you see a hawk, it might mean freedom. When I see a hawk, it might mean focus. The field doesn't use a universal dictionary. It uses your subconscious mind's personal language. This is why generic angel number interpretations don't work. Someone tells you 444 means angels are with you. But when you see 444, it might be connected to a specific memory, a specific person, a specific fear or desire that only you understand. So step 1, start keeping a synchronicity journal. Not just what you see, but what you were thinking, feeling, or doing right before it appeared. You see 1111, great, but what were you thinking about? What decision were you wrestling with? What emotion were you in? Because the synchronicity isn't random, it's a response, and the more data you collect, the clearer the pattern becomes. And I've been doing this for years, and I can tell you, your synchronicities have themes. Repeating motifs, consistent symbols that show up during similar emotional states. Once you identify those patterns, you stop needing external interpretations. You become fluent in your own symbolic language. Second, elevate your emotional frequency. This is non-negotiable. You can journal all day, but if you're stuck in fear, resentment, and scarcity, your field is broadcasting static. The field doesn't respond to what you think, it responds to what you feel. So if you want synchronistic flow, you have to cultivate the emotions of flow. Gratitude, love, peace, curiosity, trust. Not fake it, not force it. Actually shift your nervous system into those states. How? There are 1,000 ways. Meditation, breathwork, time in nature, moving your body, serving others, creating something, whatever drops you out of your head and into presence. Because here's the secret. Synchronicity doesn't happen in the past or the future. It happens now. When you're ruminating about yesterday or anxious about tomorrow, you're not tuned in. You're offline. The field is sending signals, but you're not present to receive them. But when you're here, fully alive in this moment, the synchronicities become impossible to miss. You feel the pull to take a different route home, and that route leads to the exact conversation you needed. You get an intuitive hit to check your email, and there's the opportunity you've been waiting for. You think of someone, and within an hour they reach out. This isn't luck, this is coherence. You're tuned in, and the field is responding. Third, treat your relationships like mirrors, because they are. Every person in your life is reflecting something back to you. Every dynamic, every conflict, every pattern that repeats, it's not about them. It's about the frequency you're holding. You keep attracting emotionally unavailable partners? That's not bad luck. That's a mirror showing you where you're unavailable to yourself. You keep getting betrayed? The field is asking, where are you betraying yourself? Where are you abandoning your truth to keep the peace? This is hard to hear. I know, because we want to believe it's other people's fault. We want to blame external circumstances. But synchronicity doesn't let you off the hook. It's relentless in its honesty, and the gift in that, the profound, life-changing gift, is that once you stop resisting the reflection, you get the power back. You're not a victim of other people's behavior. You're the creator of your experience. And when you shift your frequency, the people in your life either shift with you or fall away. It's not personal. It's resonance. You've changed frequencies, and they're no longer a match. Fourth, make decisions based on alignment, not logic. This is where most people sabotage themselves. They get a synchronistic signal, a clear nudge from the field, and then they override it with logic. But it doesn't make sense. But it's not practical. But what if I fail? And they stay in the safe, familiar choice. The one that makes sense to everyone else. The one that keeps them small. But synchronicity doesn't care about logic. It cares about alignment. When you feel that pull, that irrational, undeniable pull towards something, that's not recklessness. That's your higher self guiding you through the field. And the more you honor those pulls, the stronger the signal gets. The field learns to trust you. It starts sending bigger, clearer, more frequent synchronicities. But ignore them, override them, the signal fades. The synchronicities stop, not because the universe is punishing you, but because you're teaching it that you're not ready to listen. Fifth, release the outcome. This is the paradox that breaks most people. You can't force synchronicity. You can't demand specific signs. You can't white-knuckle the universe into giving you what you want. The moment you need the synchronicity to prove something, you collapse the frequency. You move from trust into control, and control is the opposite of flow. Synchronicity happens in the space of surrender. Not passive resignation, active surrender. Where you're doing your part, holding your frequency, taking inspired action. But you're not attached to how it unfolds. You plant the seed, you water it, and then you trust the soil to do its work. That trust, that surrender, is the most powerful frequency you can hold, because it signals to the field, I know you've got me, I'm safe, I'm ready. And when the field feels that, when it senses that you're not grasping, not forcing, not second-guessing, it delivers in ways that blow your mind. Not because you manipulated it, but because you became a clear channel. And a clear channel, that's all the universe needs to move heaven and earth on your behalf. So here's what I want you to do right now. Think about the last synchronicity you experienced, the one you dismissed, the one you rationalized away, the one you thought was too small to matter. Go back to it. What was it trying to tell you? What frequency were you in when it appeared? What would have happened if you'd followed that thread? Because I promise you, it wasn't random. It was an invitation to trust, to step into a bigger version of yourself, to collaborate with a reality that's more alive, more responsive, more intelligent than you've been taught to believe. And the question isn't whether the field is listening. It is. It always has been. The question is, are you? So here's what we've covered. Synchronicity isn't coincidence. It's not luck. It's not your imagination. It's a quantum feedback system, a language, a conversation between your consciousness and the field of infinite possibility. Carl Jung discovered it. Quantum physics confirmed it, and your life has been demonstrating it every single day, whether you've been paying attention or not. The numbers, the symbols, the impossible timing. The people who show up right when you need them. The doors that close to redirect you towards something better. None of it is random. It's all signal, and the signal is always responding to your frequency. When you're coherent, when your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs align, the synchronicities flow, effortlessly, undeniably, in ways that leave you breathless. But when you're in chaos, fear, resistance, the signal gets lost in the noise, and you convince yourself the universe isn't listening, but it is. It always is. You're just not tuned in. And tuning in, that's the work. That's the practice. That's the shift from victim to creator. It means taking radical responsibility for your frequency. Not what you say you want, what you're actually broadcasting through your nervous system, your beliefs, your habitual emotional states. It means honoring the synchronicities that show up, even when they don't make logical sense, even when they're uncomfortable, even when they're asking you to grow beyond who you've been. It means trusting the field enough to surrender the outcome, to release control, to move from force into flow. And when you do that, when you become a clear channel, reality stops feeling like something happening to you. It starts feeling like something happening with you. A co-creation, a dance, a partnership with intelligence so vast, so precise, so loving that it will never stop guiding you home. Because that's what synchronicity really is. It's not a magic trick. It's not a manifestation hack. It's the universe reminding you over and over and over, you are not separate. You are not alone. You are woven into this.